Welcome back, guys. It's Radar once again. And it looks like, well, my character got himself into a bit of trouble with Shoichi, and his butt's being dragged to the courts. So, with that being said, let's continue on with Tennis Ace. Saya-chan, we're here. Saya stomps her way over to us, nearly knocking down some students that were unlucky enough to be in her path. If this were some kind of manga, I'm 100% sure she'd have smoke coming out of her ears. You asshole! Ah! I am grabbed by the collar of my shirt and dragged to the courts. What's with people always grabbing me by the shirt? I have arms, grab those! They don't cost any money, and there's no risk of ripping them. There is no way you're running away again. Wait, Saya-chan, I promise I'm not going to try to escape. Please, stop pulling on my shirt. Saya Mizuguchi, one of my dear childhood friends, is the current captain of our school's tennis club. Unfortunately for me, she is incredibly brash and hot-headed. Enough, even though she looks so innocent and tries to act cute, she's a monster whenever she gets angry. And considering how easy she is to anger, one could say she lives in a state of constant rage. Standing at 176 centimeters, she's also one of the tallest girls in school, which I find slightly unsettling. Mizuguchi-san, I'd like to remind you that our new members are watching this little display here. Saya turns around to look at the source of that voice, her nostrils flared and her brows furrowed. Not to mention that huge vein that's pulsing in her forehead. The one addressing her is Keisuke Urashihara, one of the juniors. Despite his age, he's by far the most responsible member of the team, and is constantly counseling Saya and I. Sometimes it feels like he's the one pulling the strings here instead of us seniors. Not 30 seconds after popping up to speak his mind, Keikun has already left to busy himself with something else. Somehow, it seems that his interference, however brief, was enough to bring her back to her senses. Saya clears her throat and straightens her clothes, turning around to look at Shoichi. She still maintains a death grip on my shirt collar, though. Right. Anyway, thanks for the help, Shoichan. Don't mention it. Call me any time this unruly child gives you any more problems. He seems to be enjoying himself far more than he should. Bastard. I'll get him back for this. Gym number 3, the one that houses the tennis courts, is actually separated in half by a giant locker room. On one side, we have the tennis courts. On the other, we have the volleyball courts. So, in the end, it was incredibly convenient for him, as he was already bound to come this way anyway. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some captaincy duties to fulfill. He waves us goodbye, heading towards the locker rooms, supposedly for his own practice. Meanwhile, I can feel Saya leering at my back. A creeping sense of dread begins to settle. Well, Saya-chan, I guess I'll just... Freeze! Her voice is so filled with authority that I'm cut down before I even have a chance to speak. Before long, I completely toss away the foolish notion that I ever had a chance to escape. Why are you being so troublesome? You know about our club's tradition? We had to delay practice because of you. I look away from her, trying to ignore the slight pang of guilt I feel in my chest. She's, of course, talking about our club's special yearly match, featuring a junior and senior players elected by members of those years to represent them in a special one-set match. No one really knows why they initially made it, but nowadays it's just accepted as a way to show off our best players to those that are just joining the club. This is why this match takes place at the first day of the class. Do I really have to? I already took part of it last year. Isn't there some kind of attendance limit to allow more people to participate? Even as I'm trying to find a way out of it, I already know the best I can do is buy some time. It's true, though, that I was chosen to represent the juniors last year, defeating the seniors' representative by 6-3. The first time in over 10 years that the juniors had won. I was pretty happy about it last year, too. Look, normally, I'd give you a pass, but all the seniors voted for you this year. It'd be unfair to them if I had picked someone else. Usually we host one match per gender category, so we have the girls and the boys playing in separate categories. But still, the guys are still allowed to vote on who they want to see representing the girls and vice versa. It's a pretty neat system. Come on. It can't have been literally everyone. I know for a fact that I didn't vote for myself. Don't try to be cute. You didn't even vote at all. You were absent that day. Rats. And yes, you got every single one of the votes. 100%. Is that even a big surprise? You're a famous player in all of Japan. Of course our guys would want to watch you play. Doesn't it help that you've been slacking off in practice for the past year? I attempted to act frustrated by sighing as loudly as I can. The hope was that she'd see it and decide to take pity on me. It isn't very effective. Should I take that as a sign that that you've resigned yourself to your fate? Yes? Great! Then it's showtime! Saya grabs me by the wrist and starts dragging me to one of the courts. Just as I'm about to truly surrender to my inescapable fate, I feel a hand touching my shoulder. As I turn around, I'm greeted by the sight of Keikun's face. Hey, how about we take a little breather here, okay? Mizuguchi-san, Carmichael-san hasn't even changed out of his uniform yet. How's he supposed to play like this? Can't we at least give him some time to change? Keisuke, you're the best. Saya stares at him. The bulging vein on her forehead makes another appearance as her brows twitch with frustration. Just when it seems that she might not budge... Fine. But be quick about it. I don't want to have to delay this any longer than I have to. Thank you. I'll be right back. I flash Keikun a thumbs up as a thank you. Now, I just have to plot my and don't even think of trying to run away. Otherwise, I'll hunt you down, and I'll make a fur coat out of your skin. On second thought, I dash towards the male locker room, trying to get this done as fast as I can. Every second I take makes Saya even more mad, and I can't risk that. Just then, I see Shoichi standing right next to me, hand still up on the waistband of his jockstrap, as if he had only just pulled it up. Sorry! I turn around as fast as possible, trying to erase the image of my half-naked childhood friend from my mind. Being so self-conscious around half-naked people, I'm a failure as a Japanese person. Is this really necessary? I'm not packing anything you haven't seen tons of times before. Shut up! I'm not usually this much of a nervous wreck around naked people, but having no time to prepare myself mentally has made me completely shocked to this sudden exposure. And it had to be Shoichi of all people? I can hear him softly chuckling from behind me, probably having a lot of fun at my breakdown. I mean, seeing someone in their underwear inside of a locker room is no big deal. And it's true that I've seen him wearing less before. No comment on that one. But, I was a kid back then. I didn't really understand how embarrassing nudity is. In the end, I can't decide if I should make conversation, move towards my locker, or start undressing myself. I just stand frozen with my back turned away from him. Your eyes aren't going to fall out. fall off if you look at me, you know. Have you gotten dressed yet? Nope. And I'm not going to until you turn around and look at me. What? Why would you do that? 'Cause you're freaking out, and it's hilarious. Ugh, I'm gonna kill him. There, I'm looking. I can see more of you than I'd like to. Oh God, did you have to be wearing a jock strap? I can see your ass. Oh, this? Looks pretty snazzy, doesn't it? It looks like something you'd buy at a sex shop. Since when have you worn this kind of skimpy underwear? I'll have you know that I bought this at an athletic gear store, and it's actually pretty damn comfortable. It's great to practice in. One of my teammates recommended it to me a few weeks back, and I gave it a try. Don't I look great in it? Whatever you want to believe. You know, for someone that's complaining so much about me being half naked, you sure seem to be interested in my crotch. Your eyes haven't left that area since you turned around. Shut up! I'm looking at the only area of your body that's still clothed. Sure you are. Keep telling yourself that. Shoichi turns back to his locker room, picking up a change of clothes. There. I'm dressed. You can stop freaking out now. Thank you. God, my cheeks are so hot right now. Good thing your house has a bath. I think you'd have a meltdown if you had to shower at school. I don't doubt that. I place my tennis bag on a bench and pull out my practice clothes. For a second, I move to undress myself. I see Shoichi with the corner of my eye and freeze. He looks at me in confusion for a few seconds. Then realization dawns on him, and he sighs. Ugh, you want me to turn my back, don't you? I just nod. Shoichi sighs again and turns away from me. How do you even deal with this when you are staying at a hotel for a tournament? I don't use the hotel's bath. I look for a bathhouse with private rooms. That's kind of sad. Beats getting naked in front of a bunch of strangers. All right, you can turn around now. Shoichi turns over again, and I'm adjusting my shirt. Good thing Kei-kun swooped in to help me. If I had left it up to Saya, she'd have forced me to play in plain school clothes. His expression turns sour when I mention Keisuke. Hooray for that. Still mad over last time? That was my ball, and he knew it. For some reason that completely eludes me. These two are always finding some stupid reason to fight over. I swear, it's like placing a burning candle next to gasoline. The slightest thing makes it catch fire. And for the last time. Let it go. Sorry, wrong voice. It's been almost 2 weeks already. Shoichi pouts. God, he's too childish when it comes to Kei-kun. I'll let go when he apologizes. We both know that's never going to happen. Just drop it. Why do I have to be the one to accept defeat? Because when neither of you is winning, you're both just making me miserable. Fine. I'll talk to him. You don't have to be so rude. Well, anyway, I have to get to practice. Talk to you later? Sure. See ya. I check my bag to make sure I have everything in order. Once I'm sure that there's nothing missing, I grab my racket and head outside. As I start looking for Saya, I catch Kei-kun stretching alone at a court. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Pain suddenly shoots from my shin, making me jump forward, yelping. Son of a... I reflexively reach down to my foot, rubbing down the spot that just got brutally assaulted by this monster woman. Saya merely leers down at me with an annoyed look on her face. What took you so long? Did you get lost inside the locker room? Jeez. I ran into Shoichi while I was changing. Also, ow! At least she's no longer breathing fire from her mouth. She seems to have mostly calmed down. She's only just annoyed. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't tell you this before, but Kay is the one you'll be playing against. You were kind of a flight risk at the time. Just like you, he got all the votes in his year. This is the first time our club has ever gotten 2 players with 100% of the votes. I'm really excited for this. She looks like she just might start hopping in place from excess glee. I've only played against him once, and that was a while ago, but still can't see myself losing to him. Sorry if that sounded cocky. To be honest, I also think you'll win. But then again, this is tennis. Never put it past your opponent to win by an upset. You should be happy. This would be a great chance for you to practice. You'll probably play against him during the prefecturals anyway. Yeah, great. Practice I didn't even want to go to. Such an amazing opportunity indeed. I grumble unhappily in place, still thinking of the throbbing pain in my shin. God damn it. Even if she was just playing around, she kicked way too hard. She shakes her head sideways, making an exaggerated shrug. I find your lack of enthusiasm disturbing. Really? You're quoting Galaxy Wars in regular conversation now? I know she's a film nerd, but there's a limit to everything. Hey, if it fits the situation, then why shouldn't I? With a big smile on her face, Saya shrugs one last time before walking away towards the umpire chair, leaving me to watch in dismay as K-kun finishes his preparations. Wait, the umpire chair? She's the one that'll be overseeing the match today? Oh, well, this is just great. Is our coach absent today again? I swear that man takes every opportunity he has to slack off. And on the first day of class. Really? Deciding to think nothing more of it, I proceed to do the most basic warm-up, making sure to finish it in less than 5 minutes. It's not my usual warm-up routine, but then again, I don't even care about this match in the first place. I wish I was home. As I make my way to the court, I can hear some of my club mates whispering here and there, most of them sounding really excited for some reason. I guess Saya wasn't kidding when she said that people had been looking forward to this match. Damn it, why do I have such a stupid grin on my face? I'm letting the excited mood permeating the gym affect me. I see that K-kun is waiting for me, having already finished his warm-up routine. Even though he was running around and doing stretches up until now, his clothes still look to be in pristine condition. As he sees me coming over, he flashes a smile. How are you feeling right now? You seemed a little out of it earlier. Did Saya-san give you too much trouble? Even though he was referring to us by our last names while other club members were around, now that we're out of earshot of other people, he's back to calling us by our first names. Which is great, because I hate the excessive deference people treat me with, just because I happen to be a bit older. Age is just a number, after all. Sorry, I was still half asleep earlier today. Saya gave me one hell of a kick to the shin, though, so that stilted me awake. He seems almost amused by hearing it. He's been exposed to Saya for too long. He's not even batting an eye to random acts of violence. This one has already been corrupted by us. As long as you're not limping, it should be fine. I'd be wary of angering any more again, though. I'll say, feels like I've had a few years knocked off of my life expectancy. Saya's one scary girl when she's angry. He laughs at my remark, his normally deep voice carrying softly through the air. He's pretty subdued most of the time, but I guess there's a certain air of refinement to him. Like, almost as if he wasn't just some average high school student. Well, since we'll be playing only one set, stamina won't be much of a problem. How about we go at each other guns blazing from the start? Sounds good to me. How do we decide who gets the first serve? Should we just flip a coin? If it's okay with you, I'd like for you to take the first serve. I know it's usually your preference, and I'd like to give it a try. Sure, I guess. I mean, if you're really okay with it. I am. I think it'll be a great opportunity for me to try out a new strategy I've come up with. Now, if you don't mind, I'll stay with this side of the court. Shall we get started? I nod, wishing him good luck and heading over to my side of the court. What's with him willingly giving me the first serve? He's totally underestimating me, isn't he? I walk over to my starting position, and one of the freshmen hands me 2 balls. I guess Saya's roped them into being our ball boys for this match, huh? I take a few deep breaths to steady myself. Once I walk onto the court, I shouldn't focus on anything but my opponent. It doesn't matter if this is a tournament match or an exhibition match. It's all still tennis in the end. And I refuse to give anything less than my all when it comes to tennis. Alright guys, we're going to call it here, because this is another long set, and, set. See what I did there? But we're going to come back with the next episode, the big match against Keisuke. Wonder how this will go. So if you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments below, as well as the links will be posted, well, down in the below as well, linking you to the Patreon page for this game, Tennis Ace. So until next time, this is Radar. Y'all be good, stay safe, and I will be seeing you. Goodbye, guys.